So welcome, guys. We're on day 10 of Unit 3. Again, as you know, the deadline for the notebook quiz is going to be, I think, today at 4 p.m. So please complete that. Turn that in as soon as possible. If not, again, just get it into me. It may be a few percentage points off, but still better to turn it in sooner than later, right? As I mentioned before, guys, we talked about the notebook quizzes being now like every other week, and then the notebook checks being other weeks. They're kind of going to be alternating. So originally I thought it would be a good idea to have them both, but I think it's better to kind of balance things out and have them kind of go every other week. I think that was a better balance. So we'll have a quiz coming up Friday. Workbook pages, don't worry about. I've got an alternate assignment for you guys coming up for that. We'll have another vocab, and I'll probably have a writing assignment for you guys with that instead. And then projects, again, I'm still thinking about how I want you guys to maybe do projects in this class that we were already working on in the on-campus class. All right, so let's go ahead to question number 1. What is the difference between stalactites and stalagmites, and how do they form? So those are the structures I mentioned yesterday with the water erosion, right? Those were the structures inside of caves I mentioned. 2, caves are also known as what? Caves are also known as what? 3, what is soil comprised of? That is kind of new to us a little bit. So kind of see what that's all about. So go ahead. Again, some of this may be super new. Some of this may not be super new. So if you want some maybe additional participation points or credit, feel free to answer any of those in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a minute here to kind of think about that, maybe less than a minute, 30 seconds. And we will move on here in about 30 seconds, see if you guys want to add or answer any of those in the chat. But again, write those down on page 9. Like I said, guys, we're not going to wait too much for most of the stuff because you guys can go ahead and take pictures, or you can watch this later as a YouTube video, right? So go ahead, if any of you have answers, go ahead and answer in the chat. I'm going to give you guys another 20 seconds to get participation or added credit for this if you do know those already. If not, we will discuss these in 20 seconds. Okay, so I'll be back 1 second, guys. Again, write that down. If you feel like it, for now, if not, take a picture. If you need a lot of time to write it down. Just getting a quick drink of water. Okay. All right. Let's regroup. Just got a drink of water, guys. All right. Stalagmites and stalactites. I'm sure a lot of you guys are like thinking, what is that? What in the world is it? Okay, well, if you didn't know, okay, when you go inside of caves, okay, oftentimes they've got these spikes, these rock spikes in the caves, right? You got spikes coming off the ceiling, spikes coming off the ground, okay? So just so you guys know, stalactites are rock spikes from the cave ceiling. Okay, those spikes, and this is kind of an ocean cave. You see some of the spiky stuff at the top. Not the best example, but it did look the coolest, so I threw it in there. Whereas stalagmites are the rock spikes from the cave floor. What's a good way to remember this? Okay, stalactites have the letter C. So I always say C for ceiling. Okay, stalagmites have the letter G. So I say G for ground. Good way to remember it. How in the world do these form? Well, guys, a lot of times caves have water in them, water dripping in them. So when water drips from the ceiling, it dissolves the rock in the ceiling, and it builds up like a calcium salt drip, okay? So that forms from calcium salt drip, and it's going to, over a long time, pull it down from the ceiling. You get this kind of icicle, which is like a rock sickle, basically. And then it's also going to pile in the ground, and it's going to cause two of those structures. We're going to call that, again, stalagmite and stalactite. Let me go ahead and just show that to you, too, real quick. I mean, why not? In case you didn't see it before. because I know some of you maybe need to catch up on your video lessons a little bit. It's all good. We're all human, right? We're all trying to get it figured out. We saw that yesterday. Yeah, so here you go. See this here, guys? Stalactite, that's the top part. Okay, stalagmite, that's the ground building up right there. Okay, let's go back to our lesson now. Oh, you saw the answer. It's okay. We're going through it. And yeah, formed from calcium salt drip. Number two, we have caves, are also known as. I thought you guys might know that one. What's the technical term for cave? Let me see if anyone answered in our chat here. No one answered. Okay. Technical term is going to be cavern, guys. Cavern. Going to be cavern. Again, guys, if you want added maybe extra credit or points, feel free to add stuff in the chat for answers, for questions. So caverns, guys. Caverns. Again, that's the other word for caves. And then number three, what is soil comprised of? Well, this is new to us, but we do need to know it. Soil is basically like powdered up dirt. Well, not dirt, dirt's what soil is. Powdered up rock and minerals, powdered up waste material like feces, right? So I got like feces from bugs, from animals, from, worms, this and that. But also a lot of dead stuff. So dead bugs, dead animal matter, dead plant matter, like dead leaves. So again, if you ever happen to get dirt, on anything, you probably want to wash it off. It's got nutrients, it's good for plants, but it's not something that's digestible by humans. Not good for humans, not good for animals, right? Unless it's being recycled in nature. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on, guys. Again, take a picture of that or pause it later in our YouTube video. We're going to keep things going. Again, 11 and 12, go ahead and add mineral identification. I don't know if we've had that yet or we've added that yet, but just go ahead and add that if you like right now. I'm going to go ahead and move on here in about 10 seconds in case you are writing. I'll give you 10 seconds to write that down. Again, like I said, I'm not going to burn too much time by sitting here waiting too long for everybody. This and that. Okay, looks like I'm just checking let me just check. I'm going to mess with this a little bit and see if I can. Oh, my bad. Oh, we're going to see our question here in a second. I want to see what you guys think. Now, you guys do have to contribute to this. So show. Okay. I'm going to see. Can I see the chat? Okay, let's see the chat here. Nope. Okay, no chat. Okay. I got my chat open because I do want you guys to contribute to this question here. So be ready. Got to know this stuff. Got to know this. Do your best. I really hope I didn't show this already, guys, because it's been since Thursday, right? I lose track of things a little bit over the weekend. Busy. A lot of things going on, a lot of classes to teach. All right, so U-shaped, here's our question. U-shaped valleys primarily form from what erosion types? I really don't know if I showed this already or not. I hope. Okay, I think I showed maybe V-shaped valleys last time. This is U-shaped valleys. So is it A, water and gravity, B, water and wind, C, glacial wind, or D, glacial only? Again, add that to the chat. Letter A, B, C, or D. See what you got. I think the answers are kind of private. So see what you got. Only person who's answered so far is Amira. I need everyone else to please answer the question. U-shaped valleys. Thank you, Angel. Want to make sure you guys are listening. You guys are with me here. Again, U-shaped valleys primarily form from what? Good job, Sergio. Much appreciated. Good job, Joseph. Tatiana, great. Diego, great. Yorkie's great. Okay, give you guys 10 more seconds. Again, this is participation. Giovanni, awesome. Appreciate it. Lakia, great job. I'm not saying great because you answered it. I'm not saying you got the right answer yet, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and begin, guys. For U-shaped valleys, the answer is going to be D, glacial only. Okay. Now, if the question, which could be on our unit quiz Friday, was V-shaped valleys, it's going to be B, water and wind. So V-shaped valleys, water and wind. U-shaped valleys, glacial only. Keep that in mind. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to sinkhole stuff. Guys, I think I'm going to have an exit ticket for points, by the way. So again, make sure we're all together on this because I don't want you to miss out on those points for later today. we left off on sinkhole stuff. Okay, and I've got to load some videos. The first video, okay, I'm gonna skip what I showed in my class, guys. The first video I showed was of a news report from Tampa Bay about the sinkhole that affected Sefner, Florida. So I'm just gonna show like a 20-second clip of this because again, it's proof to show that we are the sinkhole capital of the U.S. It's a big problem.
Now to the town of Sefner, Florida.
And
it's about 20 PT.
While sinkholes like these in Ohio, Minnesota, Utah, and this one in Guatemala often grab headlines, they are most often reported in these 7 states: Texas, Alabama, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and they're especially common in Florida, where more than 15,000 sinkholes have been recorded. Last May, this huge hole swallowed an entire backyard near Orlando. Last June, another destroyed an entire home. While experts say many things can cause...
Big problem, right, guys? Big problem. And we remember, they get created because... Oh, well, actually, it's going to tell you right here.
In Florida, it's a domino effect. The state's sandy soil, on top of clay, supported on a deep layer of limestone, can suddenly collapse due to a dramatic shift in Florida's unique underground rivers.
So Florida's ground, guys, it's like a rock sponge. There's a bunch of holes in it, and there's a bunch of water flowing, underground rivers, and when that river is flowing strong enough, it eats away the limestone, and it causes what we know as sinkholes. It causes houses to fall over and fall down, right? So that is a big issue, guys. That causes our sinkholes. Let's go back to page 8. We, again, finished on stalagmites and stalactites yesterday. Again, the title of page 8 is just water erosion, guys. Water erosion. We'll see this here. So, again, page 8 is just water erosion. Again, if you got to catch up on the YouTube lessons, be sure to catch up because they don't want you falling behind, right? So let's go ahead and go to where it says sinkholes. Oh, we did this video already. We did this already. Water collects underground, eats the rock above. This is what we did last time. So just write down for sinkholes, guys. Write car sinkholes. I got to highlight this. Okay. And it's just a depression in the ground. Oh, one second. I'm just going to make sure you guys got the same highlights here. Oh, let's see, maybe someone in the chat. Okay, let's see here. Somebody in the chat has a question. Joseph, did you have a question? You have a question. So go ahead, guys, go to page 8. I need you to write this down. Car sinkholes. Joseph, if you have a question, you can send it to me. I can. Okay, Joseph, as long as it is a one-time thing, you are fine. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Again, guys, I'm going to check attendance one more time when we log out. And then okay. And I can call your parents about that just to clarify that. Okay. So no worries. Joseph, you are okay. You're no problem. That is just fine, Joseph. Again, if you guys got questions, feel free to send it in the chat. Joseph, you're fine. I'll give mom or dad a call if it is a recurring thing. Just so you know. Okay. So again, I should have 12 by the end of this. Joseph just spoke with me about something, and I'm gonna call his family about it. Okay. So sinkholes, guys, it's a depression that forms when water, those underground rivers, they flow in Florida, and they eat away, they dissolve, they break down the rock. Again, you guys should write this down on page 8. You're going to need it for our notebook check or our quizzes, right? And it eats away the rock, and then the rock just falls through. If it gets thin enough, it just falls through. This guy right here, standing inside of one that's about to fall, probably not the best idea, guys. Very dangerous, okay? Now, I talked about that happening in Sefner, Florida. What happened was somebody, again, became a victim to a sinkhole, okay? And if a sinkhole happens, if you fall in, it's very dangerous because it's a bunch of sharp rocks and water that could break a bunch of bones when you fall in. So, again, sinkholes are very dangerous. We got to be careful when we see those warning signs, right? Don't forget the warning signs of a sinkhole, guys, if you didn't already know, is cracks in the ground. Cracks in the ground. You've also got cracks in the ground. You've got plants that are kind of dying. So we see kind of all the grass is dead around this area, right? And then we see maybe fences or trees are leaning. So leaning fences or trees, okay? Moving on to our next topic, okay? And then I had other videos on sinkholes, but this is kind of a cool video. I'm going to show you guys a video of a sinkhole happening inside of a lake. So basically, it acts like a drain. That's basically what it does, right? Check it out. Pretty crazy stuff. It's going to completely eat and consume the trees.
And sinkhole, the remains of a collapsed cavern in Assumption Parish, Louisiana. And although it looks placid, it's still hungry.
Look at these trees here. I know one thing. You want to know when these swimming in this water.
The sinkhole near the village of Bayou Corn and Grand Bayou.
Okay, so crazy footage there, guys. Again, sinkholes can happen in the water too. An underwater cave opened up. Whatever's above it, it's going right on down. Right, so pretty crazy dangerous there. And I have another video of a house collapsing, but you know what? We'll just save ourselves some time. It's nothing. I mean, okay, I mentioned it, so why not just show it? Why not just show it real quick? I think we're doing okay on time. I've got about 20. I'm gonna try really hard to not take as long next time, guys. Yeah. So I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna post that to Canvas if you really want to watch the house collapse to see the danger of sinkholes to our houses. Okay. So in my in-person class, I let students research these on your phones, and then we share it. But I'm just gonna show it to you now, guys, to save us time. Our next topic is karst lakes, guys. Again, just beneath karst sinkholes. I need you guys to write karst lakes. Okay. And what is a karst lake? Just so you have it, let me kind of remove this here, okay? A karst lake is a sinkhole filled up with water, okay? So it gets filled up with precipitation and runoff. So just to get some people in the, looks like I got another chat box here. Okay. Could you help me organize, okay. Giovanni, yeah, I could help you quite a bit. When class ends here shortly, I'm gonna probably get you off the mute button, and I can kind of help you out. I'll help you out the best I can, because I know you need some of that chapter, need some of that unit 3. So I got you, Giovanni, no problem. Anybody want to add to the chat? Anybody know what precipitation is? What is precipitation? Anybody know by chance what precipitation is? Precipitation? Okay, nope, nobody. Okay, precipitation, guys, is rain. It's another word for rain. So anytime, so you got a sinkhole, and then water fills it up, that's going to be a karst lake. That's going to be a karst lake, okay? So what's the difference between that and a spring? Well, a spring, guys, okay, it's also a hole in the ground with water, but the water doesn't come from rain. It comes from the ground. Comes from the ground, guys, underground. It filters through all the spongy rock beneath us. It's really clear. It's really cold. Really great water. You can get a lot of them are found in Florida. Okay. So again, water flowing through dissolved permeable rock underground. Make sure to write this down. If I'm going too fast, take a picture. If you need me to go back really quick to get a picture, let me know in the chat. I can, no problems there. Okay. Nobody's messaging the chat, so I think we're all good. So again, a lake is a hole with water, that fills up with, oh, there's Angel there. Good to see Angel. That is going to fill up with rain, whereas a spring is going to fill up with underground water that's filtered through. I got a cool video of some springs. Is this the video? I think I got to go to YouTube here. Okay. Florida spring, and these guys, they go scuba diving in a spring here in Florida. Really cool. And they actually encounter a baby snapping turtle.
To everyone at home who dreams of being a super...
Again, I guess this is a DJ app. Guys, I can't control the commercials all the time. As long as they're appropriate, right? But, yeah, and that's... Okay, so let me go ahead. Here's some guys swimming in a spring. Really cool footage here. There's a bunch of underground tunnels, underwater tunnels and caves. That's so clear blue water. Here in Florida. And check out I can go to my students' class. First spring. And again, I've never been to a spring, guys. I really want to go. Oh, there's a turtle. Fast in the water, faster than they look. And they won't bite if you are not careful. So check this out, guys. Again, do not mess around with turtles. They bite, and the bites do hurt. So, not the best idea. They are faster in water, and they do have strong bites. So we're going to move on from that. Pretty cool stuff on the springs. Let's do two more quick things. Let's do two more quick things, guys. Two more quick things. Soil. We already know what's inside of it, okay? We know there's it's powdered up minerals, decaying matter, dead organisms, and feces. But just define it. Again, this is on page 10, guys. Do write this on page 10. Loose covering of weathered rock particles and decaying matter on the ground, okay? So that is going to be soil. That is going to be soil. I'm going to go kind of faster. Does anyone? Oh, I see somebody in the chat here in the chat. I actually met that diver. That is, he's got a popular YouTube channel, Kara, and I got to see his channel. Really cool. I mean, he's local in here in Florida. Every time I show that video to my students in class, guys, everybody's seen it. Like they've seen it somehow, or they've watched, or like, oh, I watch his channel. I watch his channel. So I've only watched it. I got to check out his channel. He seems like a cool guy. So that's awesome, Kara. I need to meet him. I need to meet him too. Okay. So loose covering of weathered rock particles and decaying matter on the ground. Take a picture if you need it, or if I'm going too fast for you. And then last thing, guys, are three quick ones. Are going to be sea caves, sea arches, and sea stacks. These are the three structures that form from salt water. Salt water, we need to know. Salt water, right? So, again, on the top left, I've got our sea caves. Okay, sea caves on the top left. They're all saltwater ocean cutout formations, just different shapes. So water cave, arch is an arch shape, and then a sea stack. That the arch is kind of on the bottom left here, and the sea stack is the bottom right. Not as common on the East Coast. You're not going to see these in Florida. These are much more common on the West Coast. Much more common on the West Coast. Okay, so you're going to see those more on the West Coast. More on the West Coast. You know what? I think that concludes our lesson for today. Stay logged in. I'm going to go ahead again. If you want to pause or and we call these guys. By the way, these are called. Yeah, the title's already there, so we're good. We're all good. Went through soil. Went through karst formations, karst lake springs. That's it for the material today I wanted to cover. Let's see if I can find a good question that I can kind of throw on the screen for us to practice. This will be the last thing we do today, guys. Last thing we do today. Okay. Let me just make sure I still have 12 people signed in. Good. Just making sure everyone stays logged in with me. Let me find a good question. Hopefully you guys kind of know it. Okay. All right, so we just talked about this, right? This was in our Go Blue. So I hope you guys can know it. Okay. All right, so our question, guys. Ignore letters C and D. Those are nothing. I do want you to participate. Make sure you're answering. This lets me know that you guys are listening. Okay. Stalagmites can be found forming from the ceiling of a cave. Is this A, true, or B, false? A, true, or B, false? Again, we have stalagmites. Stalagmites can be found forming from the ceiling of a cave, right? So go ahead and put your answers in the chat to end the day to make sure you guys are listening. So stalagmites can be found forming from the ceiling of a cave. And again, if you do get it right, I will give you, I'll mark down some extra credit for potentially our next quiz. Or actually our next assignment that you have. I'm gonna put this down for the notebook check, extra credit potentially. So if you haven't turned in the notebook checks, please do. If you haven't turned in the vocabs, please do, right? So I got so far Yorkies, Lakia, Angel, great job. Sergio, great job. Oh, Irene changed your answer. Okay, great. Amira. All right, go take 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And the answer is going to be B, false. B, false, guys. Again, remember, stalagmite G, that's in the ground. Stalactite C is from the ceiling. I want to give congrats and props to those who got it right. So we got, let's see. We've got Amira, great job. Tatiana. Lakia, great job. Sergio, Irina, good job, everybody. Okay, guys, let me double check my attendance here. Looks like I got all 12 still, so you guys are good. If you have questions, stay signed in. If you are good, feel free to log off and sign out. Feel free to log off and sign out.